Hey guys, it's Lucas again. So today's Thursday, that's why I'm posting. This week's topic is coming out and acceptance. So, I'm trying to think. The first people that I came out to, were pretty good friends of mine, and I figured they would have a better understanding of what I was going through, only because they are part of the LGBTQ community. So, I told them, and they were all right with it. They didn't really care. And I told some more of my friends, and my friends, they don't care. They're totally cool with it. I was like, awesome. So, time came around. It's 2012, right after I graduated high school, pretty much. A couple months later, I was telling people, and I mean, my whole life I knew something was different, and I figured out what it was. And I was like, everything makes sense now. But I was like, I need to tell more people than just friends. Like, I need to tell my family. So, I told my sister. 'Cause she's like my best friend. So, I was like, alright, I'll tell her. Sorry. I told my sister. She pretty much told me just that I needed to be 100% sure that this is what I wanted, and I was trying to get her to understand that this is what I want, this is who I am, and I finally realized everything makes sense. I mean, even when I was little, I kept thinking that what would it be like to be a boy? And the more and more I thought about it, I was like, that's what I want. But I never said anything because I thought it was weird or stupid or just crazy. So I just never said anything, and I finally say something. And my sister's just like, make sure it's what you want. I'm trying to get her to understand that that is exactly what I wanted, and my dad's yelling at my dog, sorry. But she didn't really understand that that's exactly what I was saying. Like, I had already made up my mind. I said, I'm going to tell mom and dad soon, and she was like, well, I think you should take more time to completely make sure that that's what you want. And I didn't. Like, 2 days later, I told my dad. And we sat there, and we actually, I hate to say it, but we cried together about it. He's like, man, I just want you to be happy. That's pretty much all I want. He said something about my mom, because I hadn't told her yet, how she would be crushed that I hadn't told her first. But I felt like with that, I could go to my dad. Like, they were completely okay with me being into girls. They didn't care. They were totally cool with that. When I brought it up to my dad about me being trans, he was kind of just, he's very conservative, but he was actually more open-minded about it than what I had thought he was going to be. And then I told my mom, and she threw it in my face. She said that I was only saying I feel like a boy because being gay wasn't good enough. Because apparently I only do things for shock and awe. I only do things to shock people. And I'm only doing it for attention. And I'll keep in mind this was about 1.5 years ago, and I still haven't changed my mind. I'm like, why would I keep this lie going up for how long? Like, over 1 year. She's like, because you're stubborn. I'm like, I don't know. It makes me mad. But, like, she looked at me, she's like, I'm never, ever going to call you Lucas, ever, in your life. And that actually kind of put a weird smile on my face, because I'm like, you kind of just did, but not really. Like, the words still came out of your mouth, and it was directed at me, toward me. I'll take it for now. And a cool thing with my sister, like, she's not against it, but she lives in New Jersey, and I live in Pennsylvania, so we don't really see each other that much. And yesterday was her birthday, so I called her, and we were talking about her future kids and stuff, and she said, to me, this was a huge step. And she said, I will never leave you in a room alone with my future children. And we were just joking around. And she's like, you will make a horrible aunt, uncle. So, like, I expected the word aunt to come out of her mouth, but the fact that she actually said uncle, even if it was with the word aunt, it still meant something in here to me that it's a step for her after coming out a year and a half ago. But, I mean, all my friends accept me, and if my thing is, if I have a friend that doesn't accept me for me, you're not my friend anymore. Simple as that. My family, my sister's kind of coming around, and that's nice. My mom kind of understands this is how I feel, and that's not going to change, but she doesn't support it, but she understands it, I guess. And my dad, I don't really know what he feels about it anymore. I mean, we don't really talk that much, but that's a completely different story. And as far as work goes, I worked at this little place, like a little grocery store, and when I was getting hired, of course, they were using my birth name and stuff, and she looked at me, and it's a very long name that can be shortened, like a nickname. And she said, what name do you go by? And I kind of laughed. I was like, she's like, well, what is it? I said, Lukas, and she goes, Lukas or Lucas, and she actually wrote it down, and I explained to her afterwards that my situation about being trans and everything, and she said, okay. She handed me the male dress code papers, and my name tag said Lukas on it, and everybody in my department, at least, was told, Lukas is a boy, he's male, that's all you need to know. But everybody obviously knew, but everybody was cool about it. Some people would slip up every once in a while, but I was like, really, guys, come on now. But they were cool about it. It was really nice. The only thing about working there that was bad was the fact that I had to use the girls' restroom. And that's actually going to be in a future video at some point. Restroom use. But, I mean, overall, about the public eye, it's pretty nice to be, especially in the workplace, or, I mean, I don't know about school because I didn't come out until after school, after I graduated, but I hear a lot about the younger, it's weird saying this, but the younger people being in high school and coming out and just living through high school as the gender they associate with, whether it be female or male or anything in between, you never know. But I think it's really nice that this generation is actually becoming more open-minded about it. But that's pretty much it for this week, I guess. Oh, other than my grandfather, sorry, my dad's dad is a pastor. That was an interesting conversation, to say the least. I came out to him, and it really makes me mad to talk about it, but what he said was, because of my religious beliefs, I cannot condone what you're doing. And that was July 4th of 2013. I haven't talked to him since. And if he ever complains about it, he's made his bed. I'm like, if you can't condone me, you can't condone who I am. I don't want to be around you that much. I mean, at least my parents are like, well, we still love you. Well, he still loves me too, but I don't know. There's just something about it that really gets on my nerves. Mags, I swear. Sorry. But yeah, I guess that's my video for this week, and I will see you all next Thursday.